How do, and welcome back to the Brew Corner. This is the new edition. It's arrived. It's an SS Brewtech kettle, brew kettle, and this is it's about 18-19 litre version, or 5 gallons. They do bigger ones. A very popular one that people use to brew with is the 30 litre, or just over 10 gallon, but for extract brewing this is perfect size for me, and it's really convenient. You know, a 30 litre one would be right up here and I'll be looking over the top when I'm sort of like brewing, but this is perfect for me. And for extract brewing, where you're only making say a 10 or 12 litre wort, this is exactly what's needed. So let me tell you something now. The build quality of this is amazing. I've been doing some research online, and this company actually make professional brewing equipment for breweries, and even these little kettles are made to exactly the same standards. So it's industrial standard kettle, not like a kitchen stock pot. This is actually made purposely for brewing. They're not the cheapest, but if you look after them, they'll last you a lifetime. So I'm really happy with the brewing, with the brew kettle. You may also notice around about the tea urn, or the wine warmer has disappeared, and that's because I intend to do everything now in this one pot. Basically, I'll use a grain bag to steep the specialty grains in here, and using the thermometer, a nice big clear display thermometer, and be able, because I can adjust the temperature on the induction hob, I'm hoping to find that sweet spot where I can keep it just at about 60 or 70 degrees for that half hour whilst the specialty grains steep. So I can do everything now in one pot. I don't need to have all this, you know, the urn that I have to then transfer into the stock pot, and the stock pot then into the fermenter. Everything can be done in here. And when I'm transferring into the fermenter, it's got this ball valve here, and I can just attach a food grade plastic hose straight to the tap, and that'll go into the fermenter on the floor, and it will just pour out and transfer. So I am really happy with this. It actually also comes with a little filter on the inside to catch the sediment. So if you've got loose hop or grain matter in the wort, when you're transferring it into the fermenter, it will just trap that and minimize the amount of matter that goes into the fermenter, which I thought was really good. For the bigger versions, they actually have false bottoms, which you have to buy separately, but you can insert a false bottom, which I'm assuming would be a much better option. But for this small stock pot, for this small brew kettle, they apply a little guard on the inside of the tap to stop that hot matter or grain matter from getting inside the fermenter. I think I've got it over here actually, but oh, there it is. So that's it. It's just a little downward pipe that goes on the inside of the kettle, attaches to the tap, and it's got this silicone rubber guard. Now obviously they can still go around the side, but what they recommend is you create a whirlpool just before you are about to transfer into the fermenter, and that whirlpool will gather all the matter, the hot matter and the grain matter, into the centre, so it will just reduce the amount that gets into the pipe. And it's meant to work pretty well actually. Not much matter actually does transfer into the fermenter, so it does do its job. So very happy with that. Now, I was edging on getting the brew on this weekend, but I was going to clean this thoroughly, give it a good wash, and put a brew on. But unfortunately, it's not that simple. Because this is made to industrial standards, they've used industrial grease and oils in its production. Using soapy water, you know, just kitchen washing up liquid isn't strong enough. So what you've got to do, according to their recommendation, is to use trisodium phosphate, and you've got to clean it all with that. Now, I've put a comment on a Facebook page that I'm a member of. It's a forum, homebrew forum, and I asked them, do I really have to do this, or surely just washing up liquid? And about 4 replied and said, no, you've got to use this stuff because washing up liquid just isn't strong enough. And in fact, one guy responded and said he did what I was thinking, and his first beer out of it just tasted like metal. So you really do have to use this industrial level degreaser for your pre-wash. You only have to do it once just to get rid of any residue from the manufacturing process, and once you've done it the once, you're fine. You've also got to passivate this, which basically means, according to this, it establishes a uniform passive oxide layer that will maximise corrosion resistance. So it's stainless steel, but if you scratch it, obviously you've lost that protective coating. But this passivation will protect it, will just help and give it extra corrosion resistance. So I've got to do that, but that's simple. That's just, you just let it stand in Star San for 30 minutes. So wipe it all round inside with Star San and keep wiping it for 30 minutes, and that's your passivation done. And then after that, once you've brewed, you can then clean and sanitize. It says you clean it with an alkali cleaner, and it recommends PBW, and then just sanitize it, and that's it. So after every brew, you clean it with PBW and you sanitize with Star San. So there's a bit more work involved, and it means I can't do a brew this weekend because I've ordered some TSP and I've ordered PBW, and they're not coming until the middle of next week. So I can't brew this weekend. It'll be next weekend when it gets the inaugural brew. And I've already ordered a kit, like with the West Coast Saison. It's a recipe pack, extract recipe pack. It's got everything you need, and it's for an English bitter. So that'll be the inaugural brew, but it won't be till next weekend, unfortunately, because of these steps that I have to do to ensure that I get the best out of this equipment. And if you treat it right, these will last you a lifetime. They're that well made, so it's worth it, isn't it? So this is my brewery now. Induction hob, 3 kilowatt. It's a Buffalo 3 kilowatt induction hob, and the SS Brewtech Brew Kettle. So I am really itching to get started, but alas, I can't. So instead, what I'm going to do is review the raw Saison. It's ready. The bottle is really firm, so it's nicely carved, and it's been chilled for about 2 or 3 hours. So I thought I'll crack open a bottle and we'll see how this raw Saison tastes. Don't forget, this hasn't been boiled. This is just it was kept at about 80 degrees for half an hour. I added the hops and let them seep in the wort, and so we'll see how it tastes. Nice hiss on opening, some nice CO2 steam coming out, smoke. Oh, that looks, wow, that's, look at that. There's a bit of a head on that one. That looks really nice. Nice colour to it, really highly carved. I'm just going to take a quick taste because it was going to overflow then. Oh yeah, just from the foam, really nice Belgian taste to it. That would be from the Saison yeast, of course. Okay, let's see if we can get down to the actual beer. Oh wow. That's really nice. To say it hasn't been boiled, there's still a nice hotness to it. Not too much, just like a balancing bitterness. But the malts are really nice. So very sort of malty. There's a little bit of carameliness in there. And a really nice carbonation. That's worked out really well. A no boil Saison. I'm surprised that there is as much hop as there is. It's not over hoppy, but it's just more like a balancing hop. But I'm surprised because I didn't boil it, and I thought you had to boil hops. But this was just kept at 80 degrees for 30 minutes, and it's worked. But I will say this. Basic Homebrewing channel on YouTube, and when they did a raw beer, I think it was a raw pale ale, the guy who was taste testing said, have you put specialty malts in this? And the guy said, no, it's just extract. And he was really surprised because of the malty flavour that you get, and that's exactly what I'm getting here. This tastes like I've put specialty malts in, but I haven't. It was just 500 grams of pale malt and then 250 grams of amber, dry malt extract. And of course that was then divided over the two batches, because I also did my wild yeast, which I'll be tasting in the next video because that's ready as well. But so that's all that's in here, just dry malt, and it just tastes lovely. Which makes me wonder, like the guy on Basic Home Brewing, are we actually boiling out some flavour when we boil for an hour, the malt? And not only that, are we boiling out protein? Because look at that head. It's the protein that gives the head, the retains the head and gives a nice compact tight head. It's to do with the protein, the amount of protein that's in the beer. That's an amazing head. Look at that. And it's really tight. It's creamy. I don't know if you can see because the light coming through the window again. But that's a really creamy head. Lacing. So I'm wondering, are we boiling out protein as well? And that's why sometimes when you do home brew, you get these little wispy heads. It's because you boiled all the protein out. Look at that. It's a little bit stronger than I was anticipating. I forgot the final gravity, but I think this has actually turned out to be about 6.5%, 7% even. And I was actually looking for something a bit more sessionable, but you can't really taste a lot of alcohol, which is also interesting, especially for being such a young beer. You would think there would still be quite a prominent alcohol flavour there, but I can't really taste any alcohol. But according to the gravity reading, this is quite a potent beer, so that's interesting. But yeah, wow, a raw Saison, no boil. It's beautiful beer. I might just have to do some more experimentation with this no boil technique, especially for more malt forward beers when you want a really malty beer. So now we're coming up to autumn and we'll soon be in winter. I tend to prefer more maltier beers, and this could be, with using extract, this could be a really good way to get more malt flavour, to get those really nice, luscious, sweet malt flavours in the beer. That I am really impressed with. I am. And even the hops are there, just to balance things out. They're not overpowering. And they weren't boiled. So have we been doing everything wrong? Have we been doing it all wrong? Is this the way to go? That is a cracking beer. I am really, really happy with it. I'm very impressed with it. So it's been a good day. I've got my brew kettle and the raw Saison is a huge success. I'm just sorry I only got 7 bottles from it. that's the only downer for today. I've only got 7 bottles, but oh well. I'll just have to make a bigger batch next time. But wow, lovely colour. But that's from obviously from the amber malt I put in. And I think those toffee notes I'm getting, the carameliness, that'll be from the amber malt as well. That is a really nice beer. I've got a little bit left, so I'll just top it up. There we go. Look at that. What a pint. Really nice, tight, creamy white head. Great carbonation. Perfect. Okay. That's all I've got to say today. I'm going to enjoy this. And the other 6. Although not today, not at 6.5%, 7%. 1 a day is sufficient, I think. Well, I hope you have a great day. You'll be watching this on Sunday, of course, so I hope you've had a great weekend. And I've got nothing really planned for this weekend, since I can't put a brew on. Oh, I'm going to make the mead. I've got my allspice and I've got some cloves. They got delivered as well today. Today's Friday for me, by the way. So they've got delivered, and I just have to pick up some root ginger tomorrow at the supermarket, and then tomorrow I'll put on my spice mead I was telling you about in the last video. So that's what I've got, but other than that, nice relaxed weekend. So I hope you had a great weekend, and on Thursday, oops, the dogs again when I'm videoing. Just hold on a minute. It was a delivery again whilst I'm making a video. It was a back to school delivery. Anyway, what was I? Oh yes, so I hope you've had a good weekend. As I say, I haven't got much planned except for making that mead. But on Thursday I will be tasting the wild yeast. Now that's going to be interesting. More so than this. This is really nice. If it's anywhere close to this, I'm going to be very happy. But I found it didn't carbonate as quickly, so it's needing still another couple of days in the bottle, and then it'll be ready to taste test. So that's coming up on Thursday, the wild yeast taste test. Can I make a beer with yeast from my back garden? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video for the wild yeast taste test.